Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here. Hello, good evening. It's evening here in the UK. Episode 5 of the Snowflake Watch. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a good week so far. Just a couple more days before the weekend. Hope it's all going well for you all. Just have a quick, just before I say hello to everyone in the chat, today's poll. We got an interesting poll today, guys. Which so-called news channel does the most damage to the UK? So I say so-called because they some of them don't technically call themselves a news channel, but perceive themselves as a news channel, guys. So yeah, you got 3 options there: GB News, Talk TV, BBC News, and if you don't want any of those choices, you can just pick other and then just reply whatever one you want in the comment section down below there. So interesting one today. Tomorrow as well, there's going to be a community post I'd like you guys to ask. This earlier today I done Prime Minister's questions. Would you guys like me to live stream Prime Minister's questions in the future? let me know on the community post. You can say now, but tomorrow morning there'll be a community post dropping if you guys would like me to. So I'd like your feedback on it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to commit to it, just because I'm already doing 3 live streams already, and I don't want to overburn myself, of course. And I did it big. I didn't have anything planned at the time, so I was more than happy to do it. So and I'm glad some people did turn up for it as well. So I didn't really give too much. We're not going to talk about PM's queues today because I covered because we watched along and then gave my feedback then as well. So let's see who we got in the chat. Ruth, it was here nice and early. Good to see you, Ruth. Hope you're doing well. Jeannie Bottle is here as well. Good to see you, Jeannie Bottle. Hope you're doing well. Jow is here as always, moderator here. Thank you, Jow, as always, for your support. Alistair Keir is here. Good to see you, Alistair Keir. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Joe Lifty Boater is here as well. Good to see you guys. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Right, so clips, guys. Oh, do we hate our clips? So last week obviously was a little bit different. Obviously it was all jammed up with the whole debacle of the and let's not kid ourselves, guys. It was pretty crazy, really, with the whole Gaza situation. But there are some clips. But today I want to start with the main focus on 30p Flee. So it's not just going to be questions and responses from MPs and that with that, but I'm also going to be throwing in some stuff from things with regards to Liz Truss as well. So I'm going to start with this this clip here from LBC, guys. Let me make sure I have the volume on for you guys. If there's any sound issues or whatsoever, please let me know in the comment section down below. The poll can't vote twice, 3 times. GB News 1 talks Scott, BBC News Scott. You could technically BBC. You could say BBC Scotland is technically the same as the BBC anyway. If you want to say that, it's totally cool. You know, you could just if it's not, then just put other. If you've already cast your vote, it's just a poll. Don't take it seriously. It's just to give just a bit of engagement as the kid. It's all good. Anyway, guys. So this first one here. I mean, these Tory MPs and the way they're talking about the whole Lee Anderson thing, it's just absolutely crazy. So this one here. Tory MP Kathleen Fletcher's defence of Lee Anderson. If you accuse the Muslim mayor of being essentially in bed with his Muslim extreme mates, how can you interpret it in any other way? He's just being a wally. So Ian Dow challenges Tory MP Kathleen Fletcher on the defence of Lee Anderson. So let's have a listen here, shall we?
Question, Catherine. Does the Conservative Party have a problem with Muslims, their communication strategy, or both?
Neither.
So you think the last couple of days have been a great example of a brilliant communication strategy?
What do you guys think? Do you think the Conservatives have had brilliant communication strategy the last couple of days? Don't think so.
I think the last couple of days have been a great example of someone who I call a friend. I'm very conflicted.
You call Lee Anderson a friend? That's not sure if we can take anything you say seriously now.
About this and making a complete and total horlicks of what he actually wanted to say and using the wrong.
What? Can someone explain what the term horlicks? I've never heard that term before. That's a new one to me. That's a new one to me. Horlicks? What on earth is horlicks?
Words in the wrong way, and he has had the whip taken off him because he's used the words in the wrong way.
And do you consider those words to be Islamophobic?
What does that mean?
Oh, you see, this is what we spent most of the last hour discussing. Do you want me to read you the Oxford Dictionary
This is... Oh, do you need me to get the dictionary out and explain the perception of explain the word Islamophobic to you? Like, it just... I'm sorry, but she sounds so thick. I mean, she sounds dumber than some of the other Conservative MPs we've heard in just trying defence, but she really does sound extremely thick here. And I'm sorry, I don't like, I don't like throwing abuse at people, but my God, this is quite sad, if I'm honest.
Definition, because I've got it here. But I mean, surely it's something like racism. We know it when we see it. We don't need a dictionary definition.
So the anti-Muslim hatred is completely wrong. It's totally wrong. and we've got a definition of anti-Semitism that's been agreed with the ECHR and has been broadly socialised, and people have signed up to it. Labour have eventually signed up to it. The Islamophobia's got some stuff around the edges, and I think it's important that when we take a strong stand against racism, which I do,
have you guys condemned? You've all said, how many times have we heard them say it was wrong? It was wrong. But do you condemn the Islamophobic comments? It was wrong. But it was wrong, guys. It was wrong. Remember, it was wrong. Charat, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
That we're all together and very clear about it.
Well, the Oxford Dictionary definition is dislike of or prejudice against Islam or Muslims, especially as a political force.
Well, I can tell you.
That certainly sounds a lot like that's definitely just on the definition, guys. There's your definition of Islamophobic. It sounds to me that's exactly what Lee Anderson seemed to have come across in these comments. Maybe I'm just the one going mad, but if the Oxford Dictionary says it, surely it must be true. Like, are we going to accuse the Oxford Dictionary now of being woke?
That I'm no racist. And I have been friends with Lee since we joined the party together. And I have never had one hint of racism out of him. I think it's entirely possible that the stupid so-and-so has got himself into this absolute horlicks because it's never occurred to him in a million years that it could have been interpreted as racist.
What? Stick keeps saying that word horlicks. Can someone please defy that word? What is that word mean? I have no idea what on earth that word means.
His words are wrong. I'm not defending his words.
If you accuse the Muslim mayor of London of being essentially in bed with his Muslim extremist mates, I mean, how can you interpret that in any other way apart from being Islamophobic?
Because the second half of the sentence was they're in control of Keir Starmer. He's just being a wally.
That's it. That's your. There's a girl. Ian Dale was softballing there. He really was being softballing there. I wanted to share this clip from Sadiq Khan. This was yesterday here. Sensible politicians know Sadiq Khan tells the British Kebab Awards that racism and prejudice, wherever it comes, whatever form it takes, whatever anti-Semitism or, yes, Islamophobia, should be countered and condemned, not given a free pass and left unchallenged for electoral gain. The volume's going to be a bit weird because of where the camera is, but this was the only footage I have of it.
And you know what? Responsible politicians also know that racism and prejudice, no matter what form it takes, regardless of whether it's anti-Semitism or, yes, Islamophobia, should be countered and condemned, not given a free pass or left unchallenged for electoral gain. Let me just finish my remarks tonight by saying this. My promise to you is not only to carry on supporting and championing your businesses, but also continuing to stand up for the values that bind us together. Anti-racism, inclusion, equality and respect. Because it's our respect for each other and our respect for diversity that makes London not only special, but the greatest city in the world. Thank you.
Yeah, so great, nice speech from Khan. Germany didn't have a better video of it, but I think I just his opponent for the male candidate, Susan Hall, is just such a dummy. I've said before about how she doesn't know how much a bus fare is. The other candidates they're not getting enough media coverage. So I really don't think Sadiq Khan has got anything to worry about in terms of his seat. And I really do think that the more we go into this and the more we talk about it, I just feel like that they're trying to deflect this whole Islamophobic and the comments made by Lee Anderson. This is to deflect us all from the main issues that are happening in England, in the UK, what's happening everywhere. It's a distraction. Is what this is. That's the problem. This one here, guys, this is from Jocom Liz Truss. This is obviously regarding Liz Truss, so obviously a bit. We'll come back to more on Lee Anderson here. Liz Truss did not call that Steve. Liz Truss did not call Steve Bannon out for calling Tommy Robinson a hero. Should he have? Rachel McLean, the Tory MP, says you're holding people to impossibly high standards. She was in a situation in a different country. What?
The former Prime Minister is now. There are calls from Labour for her to lose the whip. I'm going to play you in a moment something from the Conservative Political Action Conference in the
91 Leeds, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
The United States, and it's of Liz Truss in conversation with the former Donald Trump strategist and right-winger Steve Bannon. And he says, as you will hear, that Tommy Robinson, who is a British anti-Islam activist, he hails him as a hero. Let's have a listen.
Hang on, I don't understand this. The grooming situation, Tommy Robinson, all these heroes fought it. The rape situation, and in that community, you're going to have a special election, and you may have a radical jihadist party send somebody to comments after all that problem?
That is correct.
Liz Truss.
Is she just saying yes, that is correct, just because he's right next to him? That's what I get the feeling. Oh, caught me sneezing there. Luckily, I muted just in time. Apologies. I'm just going to carry on playing because I've lost my train of thought after that sneeze.
Truss did not call that out. Should she have done, Rachel?
So I think you're sort of almost holding people to impossibly high standards.
Are they?
If you...
How disgusting. What do you mean high standards? Excuse me? What do you mean by high standards? She's the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. She's a Conservative MP. She's not like sitting on the outsides of politics. She's in the politics deep. Holding her to high standards. It's ridiculous. That's so insulting.
Expect everybody to just interrupt somebody in a live situation. I mean, I don't know whether Liz heard what was said. I don't know whether...
He was literally sitting right next to him when he said that, and she said, yes, that is correct. How much more of that context do you need to understand?
That she was aware what was said. I don't know what the context was. I mean, in a sense, we're several steps away from somebody who is in a situation in a different country.
Yeah, but
in
she
an
does know
event
who Steve Bannon is and what he represents, doesn't she? She should have been alert to what he was saying.
Yeah, maybe she should. But I think if you are
yes, she should. She should have done.
Now suggesting that anybody who's in a room with somebody making an unacceptable comment, if they don't call that out, they're somehow bad. To me, this seems to be a degree further than most people would accept.
Did you not hear? I feel like she's just completely ignoring where she was, the people that were there, the comments that were made. She's just totally ignoring everything. Stephen Banker, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, now my throat is coughing up now, all because of that sneezing.
I see the attack on Labour for what happened with the Rochdale candidates, right? And so you've got to call out hate. Anyone in a leadership position, anyone in any party, but Liz Truss, who formerly was the Prime Minister of this country, to hear the words that Tommy Robinson is a hero and to sit there and say they're correct.
It's not the same at all, Luke, because your candidate himself said those things.
The difference between... Now, of course, yeah, there's no question that Labour has their problems, and I've criticised them on this channel indeed. But Labour have responded and dealt with the situation with regarding Azad Ali, the Rochdale candidate. They've denounced him in every way, shape or form when the story came out. Now, obviously, it took a day or two before Keir Starmer decided to actually do that. Yes, but they're at least calling it out and doing it and acting on it. Whereas the Conservative MP are turning a blind eye to this because it's Liz Truss. And they turned a blind eye to what Suella Braverman said in her article in The Telegraph. But for Lee Anderson, they've removed the whip from him, not because of the comments, but because he wouldn't say sorry, because he got so much backlash. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yes, and Steve Bannon said those things next to Liz Truss just there. You've said one's acceptable, one's not.
Liz Truss didn't say it. That's the difference. They came out.
She could have said something, and she chose not to say anything. I remember the words. She literally said, yes, that is correct, in terms of Tommy Robinson. She was literally sitting there at the whole time. My God, the defence from Rachel was insane.
Out of your candidate's mouth. She was in a room with someone saying something acceptable.
You should always call out hate wherever it is.
The two things
she should have called out hate there.
Please don't interrupt me. The two things are different.
All right, let me get from the comment.
They're not different. Don't interrupt me. Well, I'm sorry, but you're spewing a lot of BS there, Rachel. Well, absolutely crazy. This one here, guys. This is Politics Live. That's on the 27th of February. I don't know what is. This is by Remarkable, Admirable, and Bravely Cleared by Ian Dale. I don't know why this is a surprise to anyone, but there's a hierarchy of racism, and I think in the Conservative Party, I used to think Sadiq was way over the top with her comments, but she's been proved right.
Let me just show you this front page of the Daily Express. It says, "Get him back, Lee Anderson." Tory.
That's insane. I think it's so insane to see, like they're trying to normalise these kind of comments. They're trying to normalise them. And what do I mean by normalise? To make it feel like that these comments are appropriate. That, oh, they're not Islamophobic, or they're taken out of context, or people misinterpreted it, this kind of thing. They're trying to dumb it down. That Lee Anderson done something wrong here. Wolfpack, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I feel that they're trying to normalise the use of this language. You know, do you remember guys remember the BNP, right? The British National Party. You remember when they made those comments? Yeah, they were slammed, they were silenced. You never heard anything, from them from the media. And you're hearing things now that are actually worse than what even them was what they were saying. And yet it's still, and it makes mainstream media. It's crazy. Casper, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Tories rally round race row Lee Anderson. There's been some coverage today that many grassroots Conservatives have some sympathy with Lee Anderson talking about a minority of extremists, talking about the marches on the streets. And yet, where are you in terms of what Lee Anderson actually said and whether it is racist and Islamophobic?
I try as a sick duck, but I don't...
Oh, 1 second, guys. Guys, are we still here? I may have had a blip. Can you guys just confirm? Just going to double check. Hi, Reg. Good to see you, buddy. Can you guys just confirm? Because I just had a notification just before we go back to that. I think we're okay. I think I just had a blip there. I think we're all right. It says it's still strong connection. Back. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I'll carry on what Lee was saying.
I don't know why we're all so surprised at this, because he's a serial offender. Yes. Remember, he told asylum seekers to F off back to France. Yeah.
I'm sure many's position, but I'm glad that he's here on the national television calling this out. We're going to hear hopefully a bit later on about his questioning of support for Conservatives are actually going to be waned. We're going to listen to a clip later on from him. But I'm glad that he's actually calling it for what it is, because there's too many Conservatives or Conservative supporters who are just simply not calling it for what it is. Number 3, good to see you, buddy. And Casper Northerner has been a member for 2 months. Woohoo! Thank you, Casper, for being a Snowflake Corporal for 2 months. Greatly appreciate it. I've got actually surprise for you members, for members in a bit later on. I'm going to share with you guys as well.
He should have been sacked for that. Instead, number 10 came out and supported him. So I don't know why everybody's so surprised. He was appointed to shake things up. He was appointed as the Prime Minister's bit of Northern Rough. And I'm afraid if you sleep with a dog, you tend to get fleas.
Absolutely.
And there is a hierarchy of racism, I think, in the Conservative Party at the moment. I used to think Saida Vazi was going way over the top in some of her comments, but she's been proved right. Imagine if somebody had said about, say, Michael Gove being in the being controlled by the Jewish lobby. Imagine if someone had said that. Do you think they would have been allowed to stay in the... OK, he's had the whip suspended.
Yes.
But, I mean, that would have been curtains for anybody, and so should this be.
Well put. Well put by Ian Dale. Absolutely. Yeah, the comparison there is brilliant by Ian Dale. Absolutely brilliant. And I don't think anyone's can argue those comments. And remember, Ian Dale tends to look on tends to turn a blind eye to some of the really bad stuff that the Conservatives have been doing. He's he's very loyal to the supporter of the Conservative Party. Q, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well there as well. Interesting to say the least. This next one here, Tory MP Tom Hunt tried to dance around the Lee Anderson language by calling it clumsy and problematic. Oh dear.
Is it Islamophobic?
I'm not going to get into a definition of what is and isn't. I think it's problematic, and I think we need further clarity on it. But look, the key.
What more clarity do we need on Lee Anderson's comments? What more clarity do you need to know? The comments were racist. There's no more clarity or context you need. You know it's that, but you just won't say it.
Thing here, and one of the key things is that last week we had our parliamentary procedures, the way we do politics, profoundly damaged by the threat posed by radical Islam. And Labour MPs agree because they themselves are scared about their own security by radical Islamists.
And we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss that. Should he apologise? I mean, you say you want him to clarify. Should he just come forward and apologise and say, not only was it wrong, but it was Islamophobic to say that Sadiq Khan has given the city away to his Islamist mates?
He said that his words are clumsy. And that clumsiness, I believe, will have caused upset.
So you're not going to say that he should apologise? You're not going to say that he thinks he should apologise? Even if he apologises, which we know he's not going to apologise anyway, because he said he's not going to apologise because he thinks he's right, setting a terrible example across not just this country, but he's embarrassing the whole of the UK. He's embarrassing all politicians, and he's setting such a terrible example to people up and down the country of his antics of saying, because I'm right, no, you should never apologise for being right. Well, he's wrong and he should apologise, and we know that. It's such a bad example. It angers me so much because he knows he can get away with this. He knows he can get away with this, and the thing is, this is going to play into the hands of the racists and bigots. And it's also going to create the perception of people who are maybe a little bit not as intelligent and not as smart. It's going to play into this perception to people that they don't need to say sorry when they've made a mistake, or when they've messed up on something, they don't need to apologise, or when they've lost an argument of sorts, or when they're in the wrong, or they make a mistake or an argument or whatever. This perception that they don't need to say anything, that they don't need to say sorry. Saying sorry matters. When you make mistakes, you need to hold up your hands, because it actually makes you a better person. Sitting in defiance and refusing to admit your mistakes makes you a weak person, makes you a weak man. And Lee Anderson is a very weak man.
So, in that statement, I think it, but I don't necessarily, who that apology is directed at, I don't know. But I think he needs to add a lot more clarity.
What is wrong with you, Tom? Who on earth was he talking about during it? He was talking about the London Mayor Sadiq Khan. Even you know that. I don't know who should he apologise to. Well, for start, it could be the London Mayor and what he said about him. And then maybe he should go to a mosque or two and actually apologise to a few Muslim communities. Maybe that would help as well. So disrespectful.
About what he said. Because
all right, let me go to Helena, because are there legitimate concerns raised by Lee Anderson and Tom Hunt, Helena, about a small minority of
Dave McGuinness, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well.
Extremists at these marches, threatening MPs, influencing decisions and debate in Westminster? That's clearly what the Speaker felt, Lindsay Hoyle, when he cited safety concerns.
Listen, I'm actually shocked, Tom, with you. I really am, that you're not prepared to call what is clear racism and Islamophobia for what it is. I'm really shocked at you. And this nonsense about I was clumsy. Clumsy is totally accidental, saying something that's not what happened here. And I'm asking you a question, which is, do you think it was racist? Because those divisions are eating into our society. I have no doubt that on some of the demonstrations there are people whose politics I would absolutely abhor, but they're very few. And as soon as you start talking in the way that he was talking, you are sowing real pain in the hearts of many Muslim people up and down this country.
And this is the thing. And when politicians, guys, have such powerful sway and their words really do have influence on people, especially people who are vulnerable, people who are poor, politicians' words really do matter. Regardless of how any of us feel about a certain politician, they hold words. They matter. They really, really matter. You know, myself here as a YouTuber, it's not going to be impactful or damaging to society, shall we say? At least I don't think I do, anyway. But we're talking about a politician here saying Islamophobic comments, Islamophobic remarks, denouncing an entire, insulting an entire religion, and he's trying to play it off like what he said is justified. First of all, he doesn't have any evidence for it, and second of all, it's just racist. It's pure fundamental racism, is what it is. And because he said it, and because he's a politician, and because the media exaggerate him and allow him to have the platform he has, it gets blown up. Whether you, and even if he apologised, the damage is already done. The context of what he said is already out there. And people, the British public, they are so sick and tired of this. They don't want to talk about this stuff. They really don't. They want to know how their bills are going to get sorted. They want to know how their homes are going to get heated. They want to know what's going to be done about the sewage in their rivers and seas. They want to know what's going to be done, why they can't get a doctor's appointment. They want to know why their school buildings are crumbling and why teachers are having a hard time teaching their children. They want to know why they can't afford to take their children to a childcare because it's so blimmin' expensive. They want to know why it's almost impossible to get the train when it's always late or delayed or all the blimmin' time. They want the answers to these questions. These are the things that the British public want answers for. They want the politicians talking about, not this nonsense. They want to know what's going on in their country, why it's doing so terribly, and what politicians are doing about it, regardless of whatever political party you're from. These are the topics and things that people want to talk about. But they want to make it about culture wars and wokeism and nonsense. That's what they want. And that was the whole point of Lee Anderson, was to distract the public once again, keep distracting the public from the real issues that are taking place up and down in England and Wales specifically. Because they're not as, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not as bad in Scotland, because at least they have very good politicians, and the SNP are doing, in my opinion, doing a very good job in extremely difficult circumstances, and the fact that they don't even have full access to their budgets, and they're managing with the best of their ability that they can, with actual common sense politicians there, and we are lacking so many here in Westminster. It's insane.
Who are themselves put in fear because they feel that they're being lumped together. That's what is involved in racist language. You know that. This is dog whistle.
Look at him. He's squirming. Look at him. Look at his facial expressions. Look at his posture. You can tell he knows that he knows he's wrong. He knows that what Helena is saying there is right. but he knows he can't say it because he's not allowed to. It's so pathetic.
Politics. This is really disgusting, divisive stuff, and we do not need that at this time. Now, my own party was involved in a business which was of allegations about anti-Semitism, and one of the things you have to deal with when you're dealing with an accusation like that is you have to examine an organisation and face up to the reality of whether there are, and you have to face up to the definition,
Tom?
And you're not prepared to do that.
Well,
the thing is, like, I know we are very like I've said earlier, guys, I know we're critical of Labour, but they responded to Azad Ali in Rochdale. They responded to it, and they dealt with it. Yes, they could have dealt with it quicker and faster. Yes, of course they could have done, but they dealt with it, and I'm sure more of these may come in the Labour Party. And as long as Keir Starmer is willing to stand up and keep taking these on from any history of those in the Labour Party, the polls, I don't think, will change too much. Yeah, it is another Tory distraction, absolutely. I would respect religions if were quiet and did good stuff, but too often it's some hate-fueled fundamental extremists. I think it's a minority of extremism. You know, we don't hear enough good things about... we always hear negative stuff. We don't hear enough good things that some religions do for their communities and for their people, because we don't hear enough about them, if I'm honest. One Angry Pagan, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
I mean, I don't know. You know, I've said there's aspects of what Lee said that were problematic. I've said that. I think though that, you know, we've got to be prepared to confront the threat posed by radicalism.
But that's one.
But you're turning a blind eye to what. You're turning a blind eye. You're not calling it out. You're not calling it out, yeah, from what Lee Anderson said.
I think for too long, actually, people have been brushing
No
up
one will come. But what does problematic mean? I mean, is, you know, Helena right that language is important? This sort of clumsy, it's problematic, what he said is wrong, does look as if it's an excuse, that it's masking what Lee Anderson is really doing, which is expressing anti-Muslim hatred and prejudice.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. Pedulous, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I will. I'm going to pause and come to you guys in the chat at the end of this clip.
Do I think that Lee Anderson is racist? Do I think that Lee Anderson is an Islamophobe? I know him very well, and the answer to that question is no.
You are an idiot. Plain and simple. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. I think everyone can agree with me that what's this? That Tom Hunt is an idiot. Let's hashtag Tom Hunt is an idiot on Twitter, guys. Hashtag Tom Hunt is an idiot. Just before I come to you guys in the chat, there's a poll up, guys. Which so-called news channel does the most damage to the UK? GB News, Talk TV, BBC, or other? Put whatever one, whatever. If you don't think it's any of them, and you think there's one's worse, it's, I say so-called news channels because some of them you can't really call them news channels, some of them anyway. But yeah, just a poll up there, guys, just to get your brains thinking. So I'm just gonna scroll. Actually, no, I should do it on my phone because it's just gonna quickly scroll through the chat before we go to more comments, because we're already past the halfway through the stream. It's crazy. Everyone's saying hello to each other. I'm just seeing what you guys are saying. Wolfpet saying hello to everyone earlier. No Chris Fisher tonight. He might pop around. He might be busy at the moment. It might be busy. He pulled the short straw and knows he can't defend Anderson's statement, says Reg. Absolutely. All those use the word rhetoric, it's wrong. They are massive cowards. They are cowards. Absolutely, 100%. It's Wolfpet says to Casper, he's been planning this and saving up for more of the same. I reckon he's using it in the run-up to the general election. Yeah, what was it? Someone said a very important comment earlier. I saw that Lee Anderson said to prepare for a culture war. I can't remember who said that. Apologies if I missed it. The video above explains why Scottish services are better. They are. I did watch your video earlier, David McGuinness, but with regards to Scottish budget, but I don't know too much in terms of it. But hopefully it's not too. Hopefully you guys are doing okay up there. In all seriousness. Not just expressing it, stirring it up, says Wolfpet. Yeah, it is stirring it up. A big yes here. He is an idiot. Tom Hunt is a weakling. He would melt ice. He would melt ice in the sun. The BBC does the most damage. Yes, BBC Scotland, isn't it? You guys, yeah, you guys have said that the BBC Scotland really, yeah, it's not very reliable up there. So yeah, you can count that in the poll, guys, the BBC one, if you want to say that. It's anyway, it's not to take seriously the poll anyway, guys. Yeah, let's go back to this, guys. God. Have you guys heard this one? Oh, God. So, Mr. Thomason, are you alleging the word Islamophobic? I do... this is just embarrassing. More embarrassment, guys.
Was what Lee Anderson said Islamophobic?
Listen, I'm very clear what Lee said was wrong. He shouldn't have said it. As a result of what he said, within 24 hours, swift and robust action was taken and he lost the whip. My view is that we need to be courteous in our discourse. I think it's incumbent on politicians to take the heat out of the argument. That's the way that I conduct myself. That's my personal style and my point of view. And what Lee said was wrong.
Go on, Minister. Yes or no? Was it Islamophobic?
It was wrong.
Was it Islamophobic?
You've had my answer. It was wrong.
Why can't you say the word?
He's not allowed
I don't think
to,
I'm
that's
here
why.
to come on and talk about definitions. I'm very clear that the action was wrong, that the words were wrong, and that as a result there was swift, robust and firm action, and that was the right course of action within 24 hours. Listen, if you want to contrast that with what happened up in Rochdale, this was
Answer the
robust
question!
action that was taken. It was right that action
Every
was taken.
single minister that we've spoken to and that every other media outlet in this country has spoken to in the last 48 hours, government minister and MP, refuses to use the word Islamophobia. Tory ministers. Is this some instruction you've all been given that you're not allowed to say the I word?
Yes, yes, that is the truth. They've been told they're not allowed to say it. They've been told they're not allowed to say anything. It's so stupid.
No, it's not.
What can you say it then? Do you...
Okay, it's not true. No, it's not true. So say the word then.
think that it was Islamophobic? Yes, we know you said it was wrong, but do you think it was Islamophobic personally? Yes or no?
Personally, I think it was wrong.
This is like trying to talk to a child in a school, okay? Think of a child in a school, okay? And you're trying to teach them a very simple, basic concept. This is exactly the same. This is the same thing we're applying to this Conservative MP, when they're supposed to give a simple, basic answer to a very simple question, a very simple yes/no question. This is the definition of a school kid who won't answer a very simple, basic question.
Mr. Tomlinson, are you allergic to the words Islamophobic? I don't understand why the Conservative Party is so reluctant to call it out. You keep calling it wrong. Politicians say things which are wrong all the time. You don't normally withdraw the whip from them and insist they apologise. So there must be something distinctive about what Lee Anderson said, and that distinctiveness, in many people's view, is Islamophobia.
I like how Suzanne is talking to him like a child, as to try and make him go round to try to answer the question in a different way, to try and make it go round to get him to answer the question, but we already know what he's going to say, don't we?
What he said was wrong, and
oh, what a surprise! You know what? I'm not even going to listen to the last 3 seconds. This is good. I don't watch TV. I need to see a good old clip of these type of programs. Good to see a bunch of them together. To be fair, it makes it even more determined to leave the goggle botch unplugged. Say the word, Tory. Say it, you coward, says Duke. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's a coward. Good to see you, Duke. Hope you're doing well. It's Suzanne, is Suzanne here? I can't see Suzanne. Is Suzanne here? I didn't see. I haven't seen her in the comments. If she is, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I didn't see that there. This plonker. So interesting one here, guys. So Implausible blog. By the way, all the Twitter handles that I used tonight, they're all in the description, guys, if you're not following them on. So from the left, Chris Phillips says the reason Rishi Sunak has not withdrawn the whip from Liz Truss is because she's not done anything wrong. And on the right, Liz Truss says we need to kick Joe Biden out of the White House as she felt safer with Trump. Popular conservatism will pressure on.
He's not withdrawn the whip from Liz Truss, should he?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't think she's done anything wrong.
Joe Biden needs to be kicked out of the White House.
Based on what? He was elected president of the United States by the American people. Why should he be kicked out? If he loses at the election to former President Trump, then he'll be gone. Why should he be kicked out of the House, out of the White House by the voters by the American people who voted to have him in the White House? I think I see a problem here.
Yeah.
I think that is vital for the future of the West. And I'll tell you, I felt safer for the West.
You felt safer? I don't know about that. Guys, did you feel safe when Donald Trump was in charge? I'm struggling here. Like, I'm not an American, but I didn't feel comfortable knowing that a guy who struggles to not even know who his Republican rival candidate is, who doesn't even know the definition of person, female, camera, something along those lines. You guys know what I mean. Guy who had a picture of himself with a bunch of cheeseburgers in the White House may have done something with documents. Oh yeah, and there's all the legal cases against him as well. I'm not sure if I'm as comfortable about him in charge of one of the most powerful nations on the planet. But, you know, that's just me, obviously.
When President Trump was in power.
It's why I'm developing a new movement called popular conservatism. We're actually going to come and back real conservatives.
It's called what now?
Put pressure. Popcorn. Popular conservatism. But it's going to put real pressure on conservative MPs to be conservative.
Defy conservative. What is your definition of conservative? Wolfpet says, it's vital that the MAGA all like her and buy her book and invite her to speak at their rallies. I what she means. Yes, that's exactly what she's saying. Yes, I need you all to buy my book because nobody in Britain wants to buy it for some reason. But it has nothing. But it's not because my former chancellor crashed the economy. It's not because I upset my fellow Conservative MPs. It's not because I lost to a lettuce. I lasted shorter than a lettuce when I was Prime Minister. It's nothing to do with all of them. But if you guys buy my book, maybe some people back home will buy my book too.
There's going to be a by-election in the next few weeks, and it could be a radical Islamic party winning that by-election. So that is a possibility.
Hold on. You're saying an Islamic radical party in a couple of weeks in a special election. Is it one of these Midland urban areas that has
a Rochdale? So it's an urban area in the north of England.
But it's the one that's had the rape situation?
Yes.
The grooming situation?
Yes.
Hang on.
Let's not listen to any more of them. We don't want to listen to any more of them. The photocopier with us. Government documents. Yes, the Mar-a-Lago documents. Of course, Alistair Keir. Of course. Of course. Phobia is fear. She's just dangerous. She is dangerous. She's also nuts, yeah. Billy Cushar, good to see you. She should have at least dressed like me in the massa. Yes, Billy. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Trust in her voice, as annoying as fingernails on a chalkboard. You said that, not me. Oh. Here's another one of Chris Phillips tying himself in knots. I've put this in the wrong bookmark. Gaza. So he says here, Gaza protesters made their point. Protesters are putting big demands on policy. Think about whatever you need to carry on protesting so frequently. And on the right is Alexander Seth from Save the Children. What we're seeing in Gaza right now is a mass killing.
Look, they've made their point. Of course, they have the right to protest. If they want to protest, they can. We're a free country. But he is saying he's putting big demands on policing, and I think he's just asking them to just think about whether they really need to carry on with quite such frequency.
What we're witnessing in Gaza right now is the mass killing of children in slow motion. There is almost no food left and nothing is getting to them. And children are being starved while trucks of food are literally sitting just a few miles away waiting to get in. And we know that this is happening largely because of Israeli bombardment and restrictions that are preventing the safe delivery of humanitarian aid, including food aid.
Yeah, so of course, yeah, they need to calm down on their protesting, because we don't want the papers continually talking about what's happening in Gaza, about the fact that 10 to 11,000 kids are dead, and roughly about 30,000 Palestinians have lost their lives. Nearly 80% of their homes and that have been destroyed. But we just need you guys to calm down on those protests. Absolute bloody clown is what he is. Shall I subjugate you guys to 5 minutes and 47 seconds of Lee Anderson? We'll play a little bit. I'm not going to play the whole clip. We'll probably stop at some point just to save us all. Trust ceasefire now in Gaza for humanitarian sake. Absolutely. All this diverts attention from UK's support of Israel. Yeah, and we're still supplying weapons and arms to Israel as well.
No. Why not? Because are you ready to apologise? No. Why not? Because apologise for what? Because you implied that the Mayor of London is under the control of Islamists, and he isn't, is he?
Well, who's controlling the streets at the moment in London? We see every Wednesday night, it's almost a weekly occurrence now, Parliament Square is taken over by a mob of extremists.
They're not a mob, they're peaceful protesters. There are a few small minority of one or two of people who are causing disruption, but the vast majority of people who do these protests are peaceful. The vast majority of them are peaceful. So that's the first lie. Everything else he's saying is just nonsense, really.
Who are shining disgusting projections onto Big Ben from the river to the sea. We've seen it time and time again now.
Well, what's wrong with that? Is that too much for you, Lee? Oh God, the humanity. Them calling out for a ceasefire in Gaza to try and stop 30,000 people who already lost their lives. It's just ridiculous, guys.
And it's disgusting. It's hateful. It's inciting hatred.
These are people standing up for those who can't. How is it hateful, what they are doing? We are condemning what's happening. They're condemning what's happening here. They want the bloodshed to stop. They want the guns to stop. They want the bombs to stop falling. They want the bloodshed to stop. How is what they are doing in any way hateful?
So when I call these people out, remember that the Mayor of London is responsible for the policing of our great city.
Sorry, the Mayor of London is under the control of Islamists. That's what you said. And you've said you don't like the way policing is happening on all sorts of demonstrations at the moment. That's a very different thing.
No, it's not. It's not a different thing at all.
You're saying he is effectively an agent of Islamists.
No, I've not said that.
Well, he's under the control of Islamists.
I've not said that. What I'm saying
what would you take away?
You're taking away your opinion of what I've said. So this is my opinion of what I said. The message I tried to get across.
You have no evidence. It's just full of lies. This man is just so dangerous. He's so dangerous. He's so calm. He's so in the belief that what he's saying is right and justified. He knows he knows what he's saying is wrong.
Is that the streets in London on certain days of the week are not in control of Mayor Khan. They're in control of the mob, the raging mob.
It's not the...
What raging mob? I'm not seeing Yobs destroying shops and commercial buildings. I'm not seeing out of control things happening in London. What on earth is he talking about? There's no mobs. All I've seen is peaceful protesters. He's talking out of his backside.
The same as saying that Sadiq Khan is under the control of Islamists.
So who's controlling the streets on a Wednesday night?
Who is controlling Sadiq Khan?
Yeah.
Not Islamists. I think surely it would be better for reversing yourself out of a hole, but also calming down tension.
You are in a hole. You're in a big damn hole. But we all know you ain't going to come out of it because you want to dig yourself into it. Because you think you've done nothing wrong. You're a racist, you're a thug, and you have no place in politics whatsoever. You have no place in this country, you have no place anywhere in the UK. You're a disgusting individual is what you are.
I'm not in a hole.
Just acknowledge that that's not true.
It's you, it's the media that are trying to paint this picture that I'm some sort of Islamophobe or racist.
You are! Because you think, that your comments are justifiable, and yet and you have no evidence to support any of your claims whatsoever. None!
And I'm not. I admit that my language might have been a little bit clumsy at times. The fact that... Now listen. The point I was trying to get across is that Mayor Khan has not got control of the streets of London.
Is he a perfect London mayor? No. Has he made mistakes? Yeah, he's probably made some mistakes. I don't think anyone's anyone in my chat is going to tell me that Sadiq Khan is not a perfect London mayor. How was London under Boris Johnson? He's not perfect, but I think he's done an all right job.
Then maybe you should just say that and reverse what you said before. You're not reversing what you said.
The protesters last week, the Islamists, they're out controlling the streets. We see Just Stop Oil out controlling the streets. We see BLM out controlling the streets. We see Extinction Rebellion. All these groups of people are controlling what happens in central London. Mayor Khan is not in control.
Yeah, but
so the police are not... Just for a bit of context here with regards to the police, right? So the police do answer to the London Mayor, but they also answer to the home. They also answer to the government. To which department? The Home Office, I believe. So it's not directly just the mayor. Just for context, I think being slightly angry and up for a ruck is a prerequisite for the Tory Central Office. What say you, Mr. Holden? 30p new poster boy for reform. Yeah. This is career end. Leaky Lee will so finished after this. Even reform will be shifted. I don't think so. I think reform are gonna highlight this because this is a way for them to. If he goes to reform, obviously we don't know at the time of this recording whether it will change or not, but it's entirely possible. We'll listen to a little bit more and stop because he's just driving us insane.
That's not what you said. You said he's under the control. The Islamists have got control of Sadiq Khan and your own
let's go
leader.
Let's go on further then, Gary. Let's go on further.
Why do you think all these people in the party that you were vice chair of until quite recently and have been an MP for until very recently?
Yeah, the sound's not that great. I do apologize. Is it gone on your end? I'm just going to listen to this last point.
Why do you think they all think what you said is wrong?
They don't.
So why is Rishi Sunak saying?
So why is dozens of Tory MPs texting me saying you've done nothing wrong?
Can you share us the texts and the MPs that are saying that to you? Can you do that, Lee? Can you do that? Can you do that? No, I'm not going to waste any more of my time, and I'm not going to waste any more of your time with this piece of crap. It's just not going to waste any more time with this piece of crap. Anti-Muslim hate indicates they've trebled, and anti-Semitism incidents have reached a record high when the former deputy chair of the Conservative Party, Lee Anderson, said a Muslim mayor, Sadiq Khan's mates, are extremists, and that they've been taken over. Oh God, where's it gone? No. Oh. Hold on. Screen playing up.
That anti-Muslim hate incidents have trebled. It follows recent reports anti-Semitic incidents have hit a record high. We must all challenge all forms of threat, prejudice, racism and hate. So when ministers heard the words from the former deputy chair of the Conservative Party of a Muslim mayor saying that his mates are Islamist extremists and that he has been taken over by Islamists. Is any Home Office minister now prepared to stand up and say that not only were those words about the London Mayor wrong, but they believe they were Islamophobic and should be condemned as such?
Within 24 hours of those words being used, this Prime Minister took immediate action in removing the whip from that individual. If only all leaders of every political party were as quick.
Really? Is that you're not gonna condemn him in any way? What a surprise! Are we even gonna? No, we're not even gonna waste time with him. This is the former chair of the Conservative Muslim Forum. If by Islamophobic you mean promoting anti-Muslim hatred, anti-Muslim prejudice, anti-Muslim bigotry, then yes, Lee Anderson's comment about Sadiq Khan were Islamophobic. This on I know it's GB News, but I do think this one is important, guys.
You mean promoting anti-Muslim hatred, anti-Muslim prejudice, anti-Muslim bigotry, then yes, his comments about Sadiq Khan were Islamophobic. Why? Because he's attacking Sadiq Khan for letting his mates take over London, saying that Islamists have taken over London. He's implying that Sadiq Khan's mates are Islamists, therefore they're Muslims. Sadiq Khan is a Muslim, and that's exactly why he's launching his attack on him. He would not be saying these things if Sadiq Khan was if he was a Christian or a Hindu, for example. He's attacking Sadiq Khan for being a Muslim.
And what do you make of the reaction of the government, who have taken swift action to suspend him from the party, but have stopped short of calling him either racist or Islamophobic, and have been unable to explain why they believe what he said was wrong?
As your correspondent Olivia has just explained, Rishi Sunak's in a very difficult position. He's got a divided party. He's the head of it, but he's not in control of it. And we have people like Suella Braverman wanting to fan division and inflame tensions, same with Lee Anderson, and he's not in a position to stamp them down.
And what do comments like those, and as you perceive them to be Islamophobic, what impact do they have on people who are moderate, hard-working, British-born Muslim citizens of this country?
Sadiq Khan is about the most moderate Muslim you could ever find. When people like him are being attacked for being Muslim, it deters so many young people from saying, why should I go into public life? Wherever I do, I will never be good enough. I will be attacked for being a Muslim.
Well, this is exactly right. He's exactly right. Where's the incentive? You know, when you have this kind of hatred on put at you if you are Muslim, where is the incentive that you have for wanting to go in? If you are passionate about politics, where's the incentive for you to want to go into politics, to make a difference, to want to make a difference where you are? When you hear comments like what's Lee Anderson put, it puts you off and it makes you go away from them, because you know that if you go into it, you're going to get them. But it shouldn't be that way. That's the thing. It shouldn't have to be that way in any way, shape or form.
What does that say, Mohammed, about the state of the Conservative Party and where it stands and how it is perceived and how racist perhaps it may be?
It's been going downhill ever since David Cameron left office. David Cameron worked really hard to detoxify the party. You may not remember, but after he became party leader in 2005, he recognised that the Conservative Party had a problem. He spent, I think it was 2 days, living with a Muslim family in Birmingham to show he was different. And when people got out of line under his leadership, they were stamped on firmly. And ever since, we've had a succession of party leaders who've been weak, have been willing to use inflammatory language themselves, as in the case of Mr. Johnson. And the Conservative Party needs to get its act together. It's going through an exact rerun of what the Labour Party went through under Jeremy Corbyn with its anti-Semitism problems. The Labour Party under Jeremy Corbyn had an anti-Semitism problem. The Conservative Party has a Muslim problem and is not willing to get to grips with dealing with it.
I'm going to leave it there, but I don't know how true that is, but I will say that I don't know how much issues that they had back in 2005, but I will say is that we didn't hear too much of this under David Cameron. We never heard this under Theresa May, and it really did kicked off when Boris Johnson came in as Prime Minister. When tensions it's just extend back, I think, as far back as Boris Johnson, and then obviously Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak, but. Hearing this from a former chaired Conservative Muslim forum, that says a lot about how far downhill the Conservative Party have really gone, and the voting numbers really do speak for themselves. I'm probably gonna not cover any more of this because we've gone a full hour on this. I'm gonna switch up to some other clips for you guys. Oh, Suzanne on the telly. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with another Suzanne. One of our Suzannes who's normally here in the chat is not here tonight. Just a quick reference. Which so-called news channel does the most damage to the UK? 19 votes so far. 20 votes now. GB News with 65%, Talk TV 5%, 25% BBC News. We can put Scotland brackets as well if you want to add to that as well. And 5% others. You can just name it down in the comment section down below, guys. Just gonna have a quick look for you guys in the chat. We'll do a couple more of these. I hope you guys are finding. I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream. Sound is fine, but no one wants to hear him anyway. I say you're referring to Lee Anderson. I don't blame you for feeling that way. It started under May with the hostile environment. Yeah, that's actually true. There was the whole Brexit thing. Yeah, you're absolutely. Yeah, I think you are right, Dave McGuinness, on that. Oh, thanks, Ruth. Now I feel. Thanks, Ruth. yeah. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. It took me a long time to realise there was a very deep difference between being very good at talking, taking the Tories apart, and be prepared to work for the people, says Wolf Pet to One Angry Pagan. Here in Walsall, we have quite a big Hindu, Muslim, and East European communities, Duke Vengeance says. GB News has had it in for Khan since he won because Lib and Indian. Yvette Cooper is brilliant. Yvette Cooper is fantastic, and the way she came across in that clip, calm, composed. I think she's going to be. I think she's going to be a really good Home Secretary. I really generally do. I'm holding my breath on that one. As in, I think she's going to be good. Is Lee speaking English? Lee speaks gibberish. He speaks the language gibberish. I seriously do not understand what Lee is saying in it, and I drunk talk with Scots and Germans. Sadiq Khan gets a lot of flack from the right wing, but he's definitely not because they're racist or anything. Yeah. Nobody should be allowed to make statements without evidence to back them up. Inaccurate statements should be illegal, especially when they're made to large audiences, says number 3. Yep. Well said there. And Boris said that years before he was PM. Yeah, when he was mayor. Well, probably even before mayor of London, probably as well. We have the hostile environment under May. Says number 3. Giles says, when I sometimes eat hummus with flatbread and dates, am I being taken over by Muslims? I like Indian and dated an Indian girl from Mozambique, so I guess the Hindus are coming to get me, ? Says Giles. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let's move on from them, guys. I do have a funny video before we wrap things up. I think I'm just gonna. I want to show actually this. I want to share 1 or 2 clips before I do the Gaza ones. This is a really. This is a very powerful. I don't know how many of you have heard this speech, but I thought this was. Just throw something a little bit different out there. Just listen to. Just listen to this, guys, because this. Really powerful stuff here.
You may have heard that some people down in the prep school wrote some racial slurs on some message boards. If you haven't heard that, I wanted you to hear it from me. That kind of behavior has no place at the prep school, it has no place at USAFA, and it has no place in the United States Air Force. If you can't treat someone with dignity and respect, then you need to get out. If you can't teach someone from another gender, whether that's a man or a woman, with dignity and respect, then you need to get out. If you demean someone in any way, then you need to get out. And if you can't treat someone from another race or a different color skin with dignity and respect, then you need to get out. Reach for your phones. I'm serious. Reach for your phones. Okay, you don't have to reach for your phones. I'm going to give you an opportunity to reach for your phones. Grab your phones. I want you to videotape this so that you have it, so that you can use it, so that we all have the moral courage together. All of us on the staff tower, lining the glass, all of us in this room. This is our institution. And if you need it, and you need my words, then you keep these words. And you use them, and you remember them, and you share them, and you talk about them. If you can't treat someone with dignity and respect, then get out.
Well put. Very powerful, very simple. I thought it was a fantastic speech, and I wanted to share that with you guys, so I hope you guys like that. Bang on. Just can't treat people with dignity and respect. It's something that we don't have enough of to each other, of treating people with dignity and respect. Yes, I know it's in America, and I know it's a United States Air Force, but I think it's something that we can all take on board. That is for sure. Where everyone's saying hi, Matt. Why can't I see Matt in the comments? I'm going mad. I can't see Matt in the comments. Well, hello, Matt. Hope you're doing well. Where's this? There is this. Here it is. I've been having this for a couple of weeks now since and I haven't been able to play this one, guys. The benefits of Brexit in one short clip, guys. Enjoy.
What would you have said have been visible advantages that we've already seen from Brexit so far?
One thing I noticed in Sainsbury's the other week, a product which had a New Zealand flag on, which I think is evidence that we have better trading arrangements with. We're starting to source food from where we used to before we joined the European Economic Community, I think it was called in the beginning.
Is that the only advantage that you've noticed so far?
Anything? Anything?
Well, it's the one which first comes to mind. I'm sure I could find more if I look.
What would you have said?
Error 404. Windows is stuck. This is a great example of someone who put on the spot here of what are the benefits of Brexit. Yeah, can't really think of one. Can't really think of one. You guys obviously heard that one from, I won't play it, but if you guys didn't see it, from Robert Spears' video. Michael Walker, absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to play it for you guys, but I'll definitely go, if you're not a subscriber to Robert Spears, go check out his channel. Check out the clip, the video he done on that. I think it was absolutely brilliant. Let me just checking. Do we want to see Lee? Do we want to hear any more of Lee Anderson? I don't think we want to hear more of Lee Anderson, if I'm honest. These are the committee hearings. I just wanted to go. That's it. Just wanted to check before I go any further. For those who did not, I'm sorry, it's right at the top. For those who don't know, this was with regards to the ceasefire last week. For those who didn't see the clip from David McGuinness, just wanted to show you guys this with regards to the SNPs being denied their motion for a ceasefire last week. Those who didn't see this clip, pay attention and watch his reactions.
The way we do our business in Parliament is terrible. I mean, we brought ourselves terribly into disrepute, I think, on Wednesday.
But were you put up to that filibuster, or did you take it upon yourself?
A bit of both, if I'm honest. I think the whole day was grubby, and we need a system which doesn't allow people to manipulate the rules to be able to get what they want.
Which you did. Yeah.
Thanks for telling me about this, David McGuinness. Yeah. Seems to think it's funny. I don't think it was funny. I don't think it was funny at all. But he obviously thinks it was. So, a couple more, guys, before we wrap it up. I'm going to cover these. These are related to, obviously, what's happening with... that's not the right one. Caroline Lucas, obviously one that we I think we're all a big fan of her. Caroline Lucas asks us when we're going to stop selling weapons to Israel that are being used to murder Palestinians in Gaza. Andrew Mitchell replies, fill out some red tape bureaucracy forms and I'll answer your question. What?
In response to my many written questions, the government continues to say it's keeping arms export licences under review, including with regard to international humanitarian law, and it confirms that ministers are indeed able to amend, suspend or revoke licences as circumstances require. One of the licences currently in place allows L3 Harris in my constituency to manufacture components for the kinds of F-35 fighter planes that are being used by the IDF in Gaza. Can the Minister publish the details of any reviews that have taken place? And can he tell us what threshold that the government's waiting to be crossed before they will suspend or revoke licences while there is a risk that they are being used to commit or to facilitate serious violations of international humanitarian law?
Well, I will look into the burden of what she has said. And if she tables today a written ministerial question on precisely that point, then I will give her the government's answer.
I hate this. Why are we being complicit in this? I don't want us to be complicit in this. Oh, why is Caroline Lucas leaving? We need more voices like her. I hate that she's leaving, guys. I really do. Oh, Ruth, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for your doing your behalf. Oh, thank you, Ruth. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the £10 super chat. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That's very kind of you. I do try. Couple more clips, guys. I know it's a long stream. And thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. I will obviously. Just before. I'll play this one here. So David Lammy says the ICJ says Israel must take measures to ensure humanitarian access. But last week, the World Food Programme suspended its aid operations in Gaza.
The ICJ said Israel must take measures to ensure humanitarian access. But last week, the World Food Programme suspended its AIDS operations in northern Gaza. Médecins Sans Frontières said, we no longer speak of a humanitarian scale-up, we speak of how to survive without even the bare minimum.
They couldn't get any more aid to the north of Gaza anymore. How are they supposed to survive? How are they supposed to survive? It's just so disheartening. It's really disheartening. Alistair Keir, thank you so much for the... Thank you. There we go. Thank you so much for the £10 super chat. Funds for the 2 lives today, Reganelite. Thank you, Alistair. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's very kind of you. It's just so disheartening. It's just... these are innocent people. These are innocent people, guys. It's starving people is disturbing. It is, Stephen Banker. It is incredibly disturbing.
And the Association of International Development Agencies tell me that visas for 100 humanitarian workers in Gaza and the West Bank have expired or are about to expire, Mr. Speaker, with no humanitarian visa renewals since the outbreak of this war, leaving humanitarian workers facing deportation when the Palestinian people need them most. Will the minister tell the Israeli government that humanitarian visas must be renewed now? That aid into Gaza must flow unimpeded now? And that Israel must comply with all measures set out by the ICJ now? Mr. Speaker, it's with modesty that we debate Gaza in this House, because it is through diplomacy, not debate, in Westminster that we will ultimately secure an end to this war. Over the weekend in Paris, there appears to have been progress. So can the Minister update the House on the deal for involving a truce in exchange for hostages? Can the Minister say whether he's optimistic that it will be achieved by Ramadan? We all fear the war continues.
So Joe Biden has said that there would be, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but there may be something in the pipelines this Monday coming, possibly when Ramadan comes, when Ramadan starts, possibly some kind of something is going to happen. I'm not going to say a ceasefire. I hope it's something along those lines. I really hope so. It's just, I mean, I want it. I want it now. I don't want to wait till Monday. But something needs to happen.
Continuing into Ramadan. And can he assure us that the government is being absolutely crystal clear to Israel that its threatened full offensive on Rafah must not go ahead? I hear the minister when he says that simply calling for a ceasefire will not make one happen, but neither will calling for a pause, which confuses our shared desire for fighting to stop, not restart. So can I ask the minister, in all good conscience, if he really disagrees with our goal, should there be an immediate humanitarian ceasefire now? Does he disagree that both sides should stop the fighting now? Does he disagree that all hostages should be released now? Does he disagree that we should be unimpeded aid flowing into Gaza now? Does he disagree that Britain should work with international partners to recognise the Palestinian state now? Or does he disagree that we should work together to establish a diplomatic process to deliver a two-state solution? I respect the Right Honourable Member opposite greatly, and I strongly suspect he agrees with every word of Labour's position, and I suspect the Foreign Secretary does as well. So can we speak together, as we have on Ukraine? Our words bring pressure and send a powerful signal that for once we can put the political games aside, meet as the government and the official opposition to agree a shared position so we can put out a statement calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire now.
While I'm kind of like, I like what David Lammy is saying here, but I'm just feeling like, did we not have a week ago where the SNP wanted to, you know, work together with the other parties to table a motion, and instead it became party politics? And I feel like, and don't get me wrong, like I agree with a lot of what David Lammy has said. We want this to stop, but why couldn't we have come together here last week? Why couldn't we have not come together last week? That's the thing that really upsets me. Jal, that's fine, not a problem. Don't worry, it's all good. It's all good. If you got, it's not the end of the world. If you can't get the membership renewed or whatever, it's fine. Not the end of the world, buddy. It's all good. Is that all of them from here? Yeah, that's all of them from here. Let me just check. I don't think I have any more for you guys. I think that's well, there's one or two other ones, but I think we'll leave it there based on the time. So I'm just going to, I know it's been a long day for us all. I'm just going to end the poll there, and then I've got one or two things to tell you guys. So I'm just going to finish up on the poll, guys. So thank you everyone who has voted on the poll. Which so-called news channel does the most damage to the UK? I know it's UK, so it maybe I should have said a bit more specific in terms like England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, or maybe something along those lines. Probably would have been more easier. 64% says GB News, 25% BBC News, 5% Talk TV, 5% other. Thank you everyone who contributed to the poll. Just a couple of caveat things before we go to the funny video. There's a funny video, so don't run away just yet. There's a funny video before you guys run off as well. Tomorrow there will be a community post about whether you guys want me to do PMQs going forward. So it's a yes or no, you don't know question. Community post dropping tomorrow at 7 AM. If you guys can vote on that, please do, because I'm kind of weighing up on whether I want to keep doing PMQs. I was just kind of like in there sort of thing. So if you guys want me to keep doing PMQs, I can. But let me know in the comments. Let me know on the community post that I'll drop tomorrow morning. If you guys on that. Second thing, as you guys know, I do exclusive content on Rumble and Patreon. Tomorrow, guys, I have one of my exclusive Rumble contents is going to be available for YouTube members. So all you guys, whatever level you are on, that's going to be available for you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be, I'll make it. It's already up and ready to go. So if you guys want to, so even if you don't have access to Rumble or you can't get it in your country, it'll be up for you guys for a couple of days for the YouTube members, so you guys can check that out. Just so you can kind of get to see me covering a video outside the UK with content that I do on Rumble. At the moment I'm only doing 3 videos a day on Rumble and 3 videos on Patreon. I'm just reducing it a little bit just not to give myself a bit too much, but yeah, that'll be dropping tomorrow on for the members. It doesn't matter what level you are, whether you're doing it for 99p or 2.99. I'll be up for a couple of days before I remove it, guys. So a couple of days, so no stresses there. And just before you guys go, got one more funny video and then we'll do all the thank you stuff. So don't run away just yet. Don't run away. Just got one more here. This what's that? What's that, Ollie? Ollie is supposed. I don't know why Ollie's upset. He should be actually happy today because we got some very nice people with some very nice super chats and 1 or 2 people renewed their membership. Ollie, you shouldn't be upset today. By the way, what happened to that Cookie Monster? Do you know what happened to the Cookie Monster? Am I getting too close there? Yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go. He's a lot happier now. Yeah, there's one. It's in the community post tomorrow morning, number 3. It'll be in the community tab tomorrow morning, so you can vote on there. There you go, Ollie. Ollie will be a lot happier. Ollie's a lot happier today. So, right, this broken news has just come in. Apparently, Ollie was telling me. What's this all about?
Welcome to Broken News. The world can breathe a sigh of relief as it's revealed that Russia is actually now okay. Broken News took a trip there to investigate life in the much maligned country, and our reporter has the details.
Yes, this is a nation that up until now has been absolutely under siege by the international community. I'd say unfairly, actually. But Broken News can reveal that everything here is actually fine and normal. And I've been told to say better than the UK, which for the purposes of this report, I've now decided is dog shit. Criticism has been rife since the full-scale ground invasion of Ukraine.
Special military operation that is going exactly as planned.
But I've been here in Moscow for a couple of weeks, and I've been shown around by a couple of very friendly and big and serious tour guides with some lovely guns, which they only used once on some terrorists who were disguised as peaceful protesters. What I've seen here has shocked me. In a good way. They have shopping trolleys and even food, and even, can you believe it, train stations. Have a look at this.
Wow, this is absolutely amazing, and it takes a shit on cockfosters.
Amazing. Well, some have also claimed that Russia is bad for gay and trans people, but we went looking and didn't find a single one who complained.
What's it like being gay in Russia? I'm not gay!
So my excellent journalism shows this place is better than most Western nations, which proves that Putin's definitely a nice guy and embarrasses those people who say we shouldn't have sold half of London to the Russians and let them infiltrate the very top of government and dick around with our elections. Really makes you think. Back to you.
Thank you. Well, let's get reaction to our report now from one of Putin's fiercest critics. Dr. Valentin Zukovsky joins us on the line now. Valentin, Russia appears to be a lovely place. So what's your problem?
Your report is ridiculous attempt to sanitize our reality. Putin is brutal dictator. Protest is illegal. Opponents are murdered every week. Everyone here is poor. Hey! What are you doing in my room? What? Oh yes, it is a lovely big window. Get your hands off me!
Well, we appear to have lost connection there, but still, what a lovely story. Next week, a Broken News special. She had an affair, and now she pays the price. Join us live as we attend a stunning stoning in sunny Saudi Arabia. That's all from Broken News. You're up to date.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, good. That was a very good one, guys. Larry and Paul, guys, check out their YouTube channel. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Make sure you watch it yourselves. Give a like, comment on their videos. They do such great content, guys. They do such great content. So, guys, I want to say we've reached the end of Snowflake Watch. Thank you, guys, so much for coming along. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for contributing to the polls. Thank you so much for the super chats today. Greatly appreciate it. No after chat tonight. I'm going to be taking it a bit easy. Definitely nothing to do with wrestling later tonight. Definitely nothing to do with that. Yeah, well, and then obviously I've got Regan's News Round will be dropping tomorrow at 8 PM. So if you guys got nothing to do tomorrow evening, if you want to hop along and watch along Regan's News Round with me, you're more than welcome to do that. Friday, I will be back with the Snowflake Corner at 7 PM. So a good hour and a bit before Max goes live with his live stream. So we'll be covering world news then. We didn't do one last week. I will be doing one this Friday for you guys. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Next week, just as a final reminder as well, I'll be reminding you guys again. But Wednesday, we'll be doing the Just Talk live stream. Mental health, depression, anxiety. I haven't done one for several months, so I hope you guys will join me for that, and we can talk about non-politics and just talk about our talk about that stuff, because it's really important. And coming up, obviously, I don't know if you guys saw, but the 1 year anniversary of when this channel started will be coming up as well. If we can reach 1,000 before then, that would be fantastic. But if not, it's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world, guys. It really is not. Do you really know who started the term Spanish for our moderators? I do not know, Ruth. I'm sorry, I don't know. So, guys, I'm going to hit the outro button. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great rest of your week, guys. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.